One thing I learned about working two jobs is that yes, you do it for extra money, but your body comes first, and sometimes you need to incorporate balance within your work life because if you're working 60-hour work weeks, 4 weeks straight, and you're not resting, eventually your body's going to shut down and you're going to feel tired all the time. You're going to feel exhausted all the time. You're standing on your feet for maybe 14 hours a day or maybe 16 hours a day, and then you go home, you get, some sleep, and you probably sleep about 5 hours or 4 hours, and you're just exhausted. It's to the point where you're yawning 24/7. And it's like your body is shutting down, and you know it is shutting down, but yet you ignore it. And energy is currency. Time is currency. If you don't have enough energy, you cannot clock in and do the job that you're supposed to do. If you don't do your job right, the next thing you know, your boss is going to be on you because you didn't do your job right. Time is also money because you're losing out on memories. You want to go out with your friends, but yet your friends are not asking you because you're too busy working. You want to relax with your family on a day off, but yet you are missing out on memories because you're too busy working. Like, yes, the more money you have, the more better you'll feel because, it's a satisfaction. Like, you get paid, you feel good about yourself because you buy something that you like. But if you're just working to just buy things, then there's no point of working two jobs. If you are in a dire need situation, then yes, you could do that. But I feel like working so many hours, you know, you're standing for 16 hours. You only get like maybe 1 hour to 2 hour break, and then, you're nodding off at work. Like, sometimes I'll be at work standing still, and I'll feel like my body is moving back and forth. And that's how tired I've been. And it's to the point where I literally legit took naps while I was at work, even on the clock, because I was just that tired. I would have somebody cover me in the front, and I'll just take a nap for like an hour just to feel, good about myself. Because when you're tired, you feel sluggish. Sometimes you start to feel sad because you're just, you don't have enough energy. And that's why most people need about 8 hours of sleep to fully function and actually do your job. If you are missing anything below 8 hours of sleep, you are technically not functional to do anything. So you have to be able to have enough sleep. And then you have to drink water as well. If you're not drinking any water, you know, you feel dehydrated. And then when you feel dehydrated, that's when you're gonna start feeling lightheaded. And then you gotta drink water, have enough sleep. You have to eat breakfast. And if you don't eat breakfast, you're gonna start getting headaches because your mind is telling you, damn, I need to eat, but yet your stomach is not eating. So you gotta just make sure that you're taking care of yourself while you're working these jobs, because if you don't, you'll end up passing out at work because you're too tired, or you have a bad migraine to the point where it'll make you want to just go home and clock out, because you can't. Once you have a bad migraine, any step that you take, it literally hurts. Like, it's no joke. So always take care of yourself. Yes, the money is good and all, but is it worth your body? Is it worth your health? Because health is wealth. The more health you have, the more wealthier you are. Some people are rich in this world, but yet they're so miserable. So don't be like that person that has all the money in the world but doesn't know how to treat people correctly and respectfully because they think they're above everybody. So just be yourself and do not follow in other people's footsteps. Just follow your own, because you're working two jobs and you're not even hitting overtime. It's like, what's the point? But it's just like, I just feel like me, I do it because I was out of a job for 4 months and it really sucked, and I hated being home, and it just felt degrading being home and just applying for jobs all day. So that's why when I got both these jobs, I just said, you know what, let me do it. But it's just like, imagine you're working like 6 days straight, and then you only get one day off, and then now you're back on the grind again for another 6 days straight, and then you're back on the grind again you're doing this for the whole entire month, but yet your shift starts at 5 a.m., so you got to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work at 6 a.m. That means you have to set an alarm at 5 to get there on time. If you don't get there on time, then the boss will start, talking to you, saying, hey, you're not coming to work on time. What is the issue? This, that, and the third. So you gotta literally make sure that you're just not overworking yourself, because you will literally feel it on you. Like, and then not just feeling it on you, but like people will notice how tired you look. Your eyes are gonna start getting puffy. You're gonna be yawning all the time. So now people are gonna see how tired you are when you're yawning, and then it's like people are gonna offer you, hey, do you want to take a nap, or hey, you want to go home because you look like you don't feel well. So you just gotta just be on your own and be on your toes, because if not, then you don't want something bad to happen to you while you're at work. But that's one thing I learned about working two jobs. Thank you for watching and have a good one.